the MB Vectrex. Now, I always thought that MB made board games. Apparently I was wrong. This is Nikki from Hallow's Retro Gamers. Let's take a closer look. So then, the MB Vectrex, made by Milton Bradley Company. Bit of a strange thing to come across, but nevertheless, a piece of retro gaming history. Now, the MB Vectrex was first released in North America in 1982 and then released in Europe in 1983. It was the only one of its kind to ever be designed and released for the home market. Now, let's take a little bit of a closer look. It's quite clever actually, because you can have two controllers for this. One of them is actually built in, and there it is. Pops down from the front. There's the controller. Pretty funky. And you've got a port. Let's see if I can get you a little bit closer. There's another port down here. Can't quite see it because of the light, but there is another port down there where you can plug in a second controller. Now, it's an integrated monochrome CRT. It takes cartridges. These are all the lovely little cartridges. They pop in the side. Does have a built-in game called Mindstorm. And actually, this little baby was the first ever console to have a 3D based peripheral for it. So there are a couple of add-ons you can get for it, and that's the 3D goggles, and apparently there is a light pen that you can get for drawing on the screen. Unfortunately I have neither. I think I'd need to be very, very wealthy to be able to find those and purchase them. I had seen on eBay the headset, the 3D goggles, was going for a phenomenal amount of money. I've also heard rumours about the headset actually, but I'll let you make up your own mind about that. I'm sure you'll be doing some research on it as we speak. So, with it being a monochrome display, MB came up with these little things. So these are the cards that you would attach to the screen to give it some sort of colour. So what we'll do is I'll put one of the cards in the screen, and you can probably just see just about, there are these little hooks just in front that it actually sits in. Bear with me, it's very fiddly, as you can see. So let's get that in there. There's one at the top as well. There we go. There you go. So two at the bottom, two at the top, and this is obviously how you remove said screen. So let's turn it on. So obviously we're now going to be looking at the built-in game, which is Mindstorm. Love the sound. The humming of an old CRT. Let's turn it down a bit for you. 1982. Here we go. Ready Player One. I just love how big and chunky these controllers are. No, I'm controlling it. Woo! Love it. Oh no. Don't you just love the humming of an old TV? Brilliant. So you get the idea basically. Let's turn that off. Let's pop in one of the cartridges. What one shall we pop in? Gotta find, let's put Flipper Pinball in. Let's pop this screen out first of all. The old-fashioned cartridge, I might just give it a bit of a blow. Okay, and the cartridge goes in the side, so pop that in and let's put the screen in. Okay, very fiddly, fiddly diddly. Come on, get in there. It's in. Okay, let's just make sure the cartridge is in. Hopefully it will load up first time, I hope. Go on. Give me Flipper Pinball. Yay! Look at that. And just like that, it's gone off. Let's reboot it. Joys of old games. It really doesn't want to boot up, does it? Okay. 2 seconds. We're back. Got it working. Obviously, I forgot that with it being cartridge, that also the console probably needed a bit of a dusting where the cartridge slides in. And now it's all working and lovely and funky, as you can see. I apologise if you can see it. There's constantly shaking in the background. It's not so good on the eyes. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It's been a while since I've played this. Oh, the technology, look. Wow. Fantastic piece of kit. Come on. No. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we go. Gives you the general idea anyway. On the cartridges, it does tell you which way you need to insert them. There's a lovely little arrow there. I don't know if you can just about see that with my light. But all the cartridges basically slot in the side of the machine like that. I have to say, you know, I love it. It's a piece of retro history from the 80s. What's not to like? It's a real shame that it was discontinued in 1984. I don't know how many of these are actually about, but if you can find one, definitely worth having for your collection. They were actually in the process, they put together a colour handheld version of the Vectrex in the late 80s. But unfortunately, due to the cost and the fact that the Game Boy that was released late 80s, as we know, had become such a success, they just decided, actually no, we'll stick with what we've done and crack on with some other development. But like I say, if you can find one of these, brilliant. It is a fantastic little games console. With it being obviously CRT, it can be quite bulky. Let me just see if I can turn it around so you can see. So obviously big bulky back, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't actually take up much space on a desk if you've got room for it. And you know, like I say, you can get 2 controllers for this one. Is really smart that it actually is hidden as part of the console. There you go. You know, never would guess that's the controller until you pop it open, and there it is. It's fantastic. Well, I hope you found this video useful. Just quickly to say before I do end the video, just go over some of the names of the games that you can get. Web Warp, this one. We've already spoken about Flipper Pinball, Armour Attack, Soccer, Solar Quest. We already know that there's a game already built into it called Mindstorm, and Scramble as well. And these are tiny little cartridges. I mean, you compare this size cartridge to, I don't know, let's say for example a Master System cartridge. The Master System cartridge, you know, would be a little bit longer. In fact, I've probably got one kicking about somewhere. So just to give you a comparison on other types of cartridges, that's how big the Vectrex cartridge is compared to the Master System cartridge. Pretty much, not quite half the length, but so, you know, a lot easier to store, I'd say anyway. Right, well that's it from me. I hope you found the video useful, and I look forward to posting my next video. Thanks then.